So I'd now like to introduce Alameda County Supervisor Nate Miley, who has been with us every step of the way on this project and is so committed to this neighborhood and to making this project a reality in prioritizing care for people experiencing homelessness in our county. Supervisor Miley.
Thank you, Carrie, and I'll take off my mask as well. So yeah, this is a great day. It's a great day to be here. And as Carrie's pointed out, there are a number of people and entities that should be congratulated. I just want to initially state that I appreciate the work of the General Services Agency. I know a number of the staff are out here from GSA. Alan, one of the directors in the agency, is here with a number of his team. The Fairmont Campus here, this is in my district. The county has a lot of services here at this campus. And to get this site prepared, GSA did a lot of work on this site. You know, I've been up here before, a number of, maybe 6 weeks ago, 8 weeks ago, thereabouts, and I saw the tiny homes and they looked fantastic, but the site needed some additional cleanup, and they've done a marvelous job with the landscaping and preparing this to be. I know we have representatives from my colleagues, Melissa from Supervisor David Halbert's office, and Jared from Supervisor Wilma Chan's office is here. And let me see, did I miss any other county agency or department heads?
Healthcare for the homeless.
Healthcare for the homeless, well, Carrie and her team. Yes, anybody else? I just want to, as was pointed out, this is a total county effort, and we definitely appreciate the fact that this has now gotten across the finish line. You know, this project cost about $8 million to do. $8 million. And so there are 34 units here. So that's about $235,000 per unit. It was money well spent, but that's a lot of money for tiny homes. And I've been a supporter of tiny homes for quite a while. We couldn't have done this project without a CARES Act funding. You know, funding we got from the federal government because of COVID. We were able to do that. And there were a number of reasons why this project was so costly. A lot of it had to do with the infrastructure. But we've gotten across the finish line, and I think we can't be any prouder of what we have achieved here. I also want to just point out First Presbyterian Church, because with Pastor Jake, you know, my office has been working with him going back at least 3 to 4 years. We, back in 2020, February 2020, we opened the tiny home project at First Pres. Was it 6 units, Jake? 6 tiny homes there. And I was delighted because it took us 3 years to get that project across the finish line, and it was the first ever in the county. It wasn't a county project, it was the first ever in the county and the first ever in unincorporated Alameda County. So there are a lot of barriers, you know, with planning, housing, the state. There's just a lot of stuff that we needed to chart through to figure out how to make that happen. And the fortunate thing is Pastor Jake and First Pres, they were very committed to that. And so that was a prototype that we could use for this project. And I know we even had a meeting to discuss how we could bring about tiny homes with a number of other parties and other stakeholders. And then ultimately, this site was chosen as a possible location for a tiny home. And I know our staff and Pastor Jake and others came up here and took a look at it back in, I believe it was the summer of last year, and we're off to the races. And it took the staff about, with the contractors, it took about a year to bring this across the finish line, but it's here, and I'm very, very, very pleased with it. Each month, you know, I have a technical advisory committee that meets to look at homelessness with county staff and other stakeholders. We meet to discuss what's going on with the unsheltered and unincorporated Alameda County and what strategies and actions we can be taking to try to address it. And this is just one of those. We have the safe car parking here at this campus as well. And we're doing many, many other things. I know Colleen will probably maybe talk a little bit about the county's homeless plan that we're going to be launching, the new one. So those are some of the things underway. And then also, I have and actually I was told today it would have been the homeless outreach meeting that takes place in that unincorporated area, so the staff can talk about what we're doing to try to deal with the homeless issue and deal with it in a dignified way. And the sheriff's office is a part of those conversations and part of those discussions as well. So Caltrans, CHP is necessary. So a lot of entities come together to try to address this daunting problem. And it is one of the biggest problems, not just in the county, but in the state, the issue of the unsheltered. So I want to welcome everyone to the opening of the Fairmont Navigation Center, 34 tiny homes. Alameda County's Home Together report found that in 2020, more than 8,000 people were experiencing homelessness in the county each night, with 79% of those individuals being unsheltered on the streets in tents or vehicles. That is double the number from 2015. We also know that for each individual exiting homelessness, 3 more become homeless. I mean, that's a startling statistic. For every person exiting homelessness, 3 more become homeless. I mean, that's just incomprehensible. And skyrocketing rents over the last decade have contributed to homelessness. 8 out of 10 individuals experiencing homelessness had housing before losing their home. Our county adopted the Homeless Action Plan to invest more than $340 million to ending homelessness in the county. We've also launched the Office of Homeless Care and Coordination at the Healthcare Services Agency to expand services and lead our innovations. And I'm very, very pleased with that office, very pleased that Colleen Chawa, the director of the agency, hired Carrie, and her team is just constantly expanding. It started with Carrie, it was going to be 2 or 3, then it got to be 6, and I think she's up to, less than 30 at the moment, right? Yeah. But it's indicative of the need, and the board is definitely committed to addressing this problem and doing the best we can. And then we also made an expansive commitment to ending homelessness in our Vision 2026 goals for the county. Today, right here in unincorporated Alameda County, we will open the Fairmont Navigation Center Tiny Home Project. And I'm just really delighted that it is in my district in the unincorporated area. This area is part of the Castro Valley MAC General Plan area. So we're very pleased that the Castro Valley MAC was also supportive of this project. Here we will provide some of our county's most vulnerable residents with interim housing and access to safe, clean, and supportive environment. We will also prioritize individuals experiencing homelessness here in Mid-County. We're adding these interim housing units to 92 that have already been opened in Oakland. These tiny home units, this village, will primarily be for those in Mid-County who are suffering from homelessness. That's a priority, and I suspect we'll keep this facility filled. Here, individuals will access the services they need and become connected with permanent, stable housing opportunities elsewhere in the county through Project Room Key. The Board of Supervisors has made a commitment to ending involuntary homelessness throughout our county. With innovations like the tiny homes, we can invest in innovative projects and keep people housed and on a path to permanent housing. I want to once again just thank GSA, Public Works, Healthcare Services, Homeless Care Coordination. I want to thank Don Frazier and Boss, because they're going to be operating this complex for us, and all others who played a role in helping us with this project. And I'm very hopeful that we'll be doing other tiny home projects in the future, because I do think tiny homes is a convenient way to try to address this problem, and to try to address it in both a manner that both efficient, costly, and dignified. So once again, thank you all. And I believe the next speaker is the Director of the Healthcare Services Agency, Colleen Chawla.
And we're now going to honor the opening of this site with a ribbon cutting in collaboration with one of the guests of the Tiny Home Village and Supervisor Miley and Donald Fraser. Oh, you got it.
Where's the guest? Who's gonna cut the ribbon?
Donna's coming.
Exciting, Nate.
So we're going to get those vouchers? Colleen, send me those? Carrie or Colleen, whatever.
That was very effective advocacy. We're working on it already.
Exactly.
So,
Thank you for doing it.
as we close the program this morning, I do want to highlight the relevance of this project in relation to the Home Together plan. This is one of the first projects rolling out as we work toward Home Together 2026. The tiny home efforts across the county will serve as a model to others, and we're so honored to serve our residents here. Will you please do us the honor of cutting the ribbon for this tiny home village?
In the middle.
My mom was a seamstress too. Wow. Thank you, Mama.
What's your
Thank
name?
you all so much. My name is Donna.
Thank you so much, everyone. And if folks have questions, we're available to facilitate that. Thank you again for coming.